Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. My name is D-Free, and here today we have a lot to discuss when it comes to the upcoming 3-year anniversary. That is going to be coming in literally just a couple of weeks, so we are literally in the home stretch. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Hit that thumbs up and subscribe if you're new to the channel for more content like this, as well as summons and showcases, etc. guides. This is your one-stop shop for Legends content if you guys enjoy the video here today. That being said, today's video like goal is going to be 2,000. Let me know in the comment section down below any other things you guys would like to see on the channel, such as discussions, topics, things like that, showcases, characters you want to see. Let me know. In terms of upcoming content that's not Legends related, I will be playing the upcoming My Hero game that's coming out in a couple of days in the EU, and on top of that, it's going to get a an NA release as well. I'm going to be playing Dragon Quest Die. That should be coming out in the next couple of weeks as well, and some other stuff as well, so stay tuned for that. So last we spoke, it has been a while for the record since I have talked about anything related to the anniversary, and if you're new to the channel, typically I follow a specific formula when it comes to predicting characters that come out. I've been able to do this for the 1-year anniversary successfully, 2-year anniversary, and also for New Year's / Black Friday at the end of last year, so keep that in mind as well. So last we spoke, I was saying that SS4 GOGETA is coming out for the anniversary. Do I still think that is the case? Yes. I just for the record, I think it's extremely obvious. I don't think there's been many things as obvious as SS4 GOGETA coming out for the anniversary, following the formula of watching what they're releasing leading up to the anniversary. And this is something I've been pointing out for literally a couple of years now, and about 6 months ago Toshi said so, that they do something like this, so you know it's a valid thing, right? So since last we spoke, Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta got Zenkais. They released a new EX baby Vegeta. He's kind of whatever though. Last time we talked, this dude had just came out, so they've been really pumping out GT characters, and again, I do think it's extremely likely and obvious, like I don't think anybody should be surprised. SS4 GOGETA, I think, is coming out, and I'm pretty adamant about that. That is a 100% certainty of mine. If I'm wrong about that, obviously whatever, right? If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but I just think it's obvious. I think it's going to happen, right? So the next part of what I want to say is in terms of the banner schedule, there's a couple of things I want to talk about. We'll get to that later, so please be sure to listen through the entirety of the video. We're going to harken back to the 2-year anniversary and the fact that there was a number of banners released during that anniversary period. That anniversary had like 3 parts or whatever. Like, there's a lot of things I want to talk about, so please listen through as much as you can, even if you need to put it on 1.25 or 1.5 speed so you can get through it a little quicker. That being said, now, last we spoke, it was looking really likely. Again, it was before this banner even came out. It was looking really likely that the second part of the anniversary was going to be related to the Universe Survival Saga. Now, do I think that is still possible? Yes, I do think that's still a possibility, but my circumstances have changed. So here's the deal. I do think that when it comes to this, I think that getting more USS support is fine here, but I wouldn't be surprised if they decide to hang off on characters like God Topo. Really, I guess it comes down to what's the likelihood of them dropping the Ultra Instinct, not signed, but the just regular Ultra Instinct. Oh, I guess you want to call him mastered. Whole pet peeve of mine, but just Ultra Instinct Goku. You know, anytime soon. I don't think that's happening for the anniversary, but I think it's possible that we could see that dude release for the New Year / Black Friday period. Just like last year we saw Gogeta Blue and UI Goku sign come out. So there's that too, right? So I guess it kind of comes down to what's the likelihood of that. And then outside of him, what else do you have from this arc? We got 17 here, who's one that a lot of people were looking forward to. And, you know, there could still be other variations of some characters here. And then there's the rest of like the Universe 7 team. We don't really have much of them represented here. And then also there are other characters that could happen as well, like Ani Laza or whatever. They could do more, but mainly you're looking at like God of Destruction Topo and Blue Evolution Vegeta as the next hard hitters from this. And they could have been the anniversary second part, or like the other like dual part of it, because I do think it's going to be like a dual anniversary release similar to last year, and they could have done that and made SS Blue Vegeta the anniversary LF alongside SS4 GOGETA as an LF, right? They could do something like that. I don't think that's particularly likely anymore. Like, I think the likelihood of this, as opposed to Gogeta, I think is 100%. I think the likelihood of that is maybe about 40 or 33%. Actually, something really interesting has been happening lately. So again, since last we spoke, because it has been a while, Future has been making quite the resurgence. So let me take you guys through a little bit of the history here. So Future was the big celebration of the 2-year anniversary with the release of Super Saiyan Blue Vegito. We also got this Trunks here, this Zamasu here, and I guess like 6 months prior to that, we got the LF Vegeta coming out alongside, who was that? Was that Red Rose? It might have been Red Rose. Anyways, the Goku came out during that anniversary as like a part 2 banner. Same with the Vegeta as well. And then since basically the new year, we've got like Green Rose here. We got the LF Gohan here. We've also picked up LF Rose here. They've been slowly still getting support. And as recently as, I guess, the EX Goku Black that was on like 2 banners ago. Again, EX characters are kind of inconsequential, whatever. But you get the point. So they've also still steadily been getting support. But not only that, they've had tie-in most recently to the story mode. And they're still kind of relevant in terms of getting equipment items recently, being a character, having characters that are relevant in events that are going on, things of that nature. It's looking very, very likely that Future is going to be the second part of the anniversary. Now, but when I say like second part, I'm not talking about like part 2 banner release. I mean, that could be the case, but I mean like it's going to be, again, I think it's going to be 2 banners just like last year where it was GT and Future, which is funny because I'm saying it's going to be the same thing again. But there's actually really strong evidence that it's going to be Future. And I'll talk about that a little bit more soon here. So I'm not talking about like a second part. I'm talking about concurrently, right? So if that's the case, what is the most likely scenario? Oddly enough, having SS Blue Evolution Vegeta come out would have solved an issue with the God Key team in potentially giving them a red fighter, which is one of the main things that they need. I guess aside from a Rose Zenkai, right? Or God Goku Zenkai, actually. I would really like that. Anyways, giving them a red God Key fighter could be solved as well by a Future Saga God Key character. Obviously, there are a few that are there, but there's one that's kind of still unreleased, and that would be the Merge Zamasu. There's actually been a lot of talk on Merge Zamasu coming up, and again, I don't really read too much into it, but like there's been things on Twitter about Future as well, showing and depicting Future Saga characters. Like the Zamasu all of a sudden having a second earring, things like that. Again, Zamasu and, I can't stress this enough, Zamasu and Goku Black having a role in the most recent story is honestly the main tipping factor for me, and thinking that Merge Zamasu could potentially be getting released here. The corrupted Merge Zamasu, for the record. So don't get into the mindset on that topic of thinking that, oh, well, if they're going to do that, they need to save him for, you know, a tie-in with the Trunks. You know, for the record, Trunks could come out with the Spirit Bomb Absorb Sword. He could come out, but he could also not, right? Because there's obviously going to be secondary sparkings on the banner. Again, last year they released like 6 characters at once, right? And then they dropped more throughout the anniversary, is my point. He could come out alongside the LF Merge Zamasu / Corrupted Zamasu. That could be the case. Also could not. Don't get into the mindset of thinking they have to save him and they can't release the Zamasu without the Trunks just because it wouldn't make that much sense. They can drop whatever, whenever. I can't stress that enough. So if Trunks doesn't come out, that doesn't mean Zamasu is not going to come out. I just want to point that out. They don't have to drop, and then also on that vein, they don't have to drop them both as like a dual LF thing where they both get LFs and Trunks doesn't have to be the one to get the LF and this dude doesn't get it. Like, obviously, there are a lot of possibilities, but I think it's extremely likely that this is going to be happening. I think it's extremely likely now. And that's the thing. I was not really on this boat until recently with some of the fact that, the thing is, the fact that Future's always been kind of relevant. They never really dropped off since their release during the anniversary. And they've been getting characters coming out. And they even like recently had the, I don't know where it is. They recently had the Future Saga Zenkai banners running here. And they're coincidentally going to be ending just before the anniversary period comes out. Like, there are just a lot of things that have been happening that are kind of pointing towards Future, and it seems extremely likely that Future is going to be the second big feature of this. Now, again, does that kind of suck in a way? Yeah. Like, I don't want to see Future and GT again, but I guess this time have GT get the main unit. You know, last year it was Future and GT, but the main unit was Blue Evolution Vegeta, or not Evolution Vegeta, excuse me, Blue Vegeta, right? So, like, it was mainly like a Future thing, and then Future got all the requisite character releases after that, and GT was left for dead literally from the anniversary till now. That's like, it was like 10 months before they started getting love again. So it's a long time, right? I don't think that's particularly hype for me, but I think it is what it's going to happen, and it's very likely. With that being said, excuse me, I think it's very likely now that the Universe Survival Saga characters wind up getting extended from here on out, and slowly getting trickle releases, you know. Like I said, there's other characters they can do. Like Ani Laza comes to mind. I want to see him. He doesn't have to be like, you know, giant. I believe he has a giant form, right? Maybe he's always giant. Anyways, he doesn't have to be like that, I guess. Whatever. There are other characters that can do. But I think that this is going to make up, wind up making its way till the end of the year, where we get potentially Ultra Instinct and God Vegeta, Evolution Vegeta, alongside God Topo and full power Jiren. That's a very, very far out. I'm talking 6 months out. It's extremely possible that's not the case for the end of the year, but we'll see. The last thing I want to mention on that topic is you may think, oh yeah, well at this point they're just going to save Ultra Instinct for 4-year anniversary. Now, I think it's very important that people know the most hype period on these games is not their anniversary, it's the New Year's period. That is when they're going to get the most sales, which is why they effectively blew their load during the New Year period at the end of last year. So they said UI Goku and Blue Gogeta coming back to back at the end of the year for Christmas / New Year / Black Friday. That was ridiculous. That was unprecedented. They went all in basically, and those were 2 anniversary level characters during the New Year period consecutively. And alongside them, obviously having like, you know, Jiren coming out and LF Broly coming out, like they went all in. Now, like I said, they did for last year period drop a ton of banners consecutively for Future to really buff that team during the anniversary period. I think it's possible that we get a second part of the anniversary that does have tie-in for both of these arcs that we're going to be focused on in GT and the Future arc. But also, I don't think they're going to go as heavy in terms of actually releasing new characters. Another big factor is this year they've been really doing the bi-weekly Zenkai characters, and I do still think that there's a possibility we get a Zenkai this week. You know what would be really damning is if we get a Zenkai this week and it's not for GT and instead it's for like Future or something. That would be really damning. If we see that, like that would tell me like, yeah, Future is the other team for sure, like 100%. I'm not 100% on it being the second part, but if we got a Zenkai for a character there, that would tell me for sure that's happening. So just kind of keep that in mind. Watch out for that. We're still a few weeks out. We got basically filler banners this week. There probably at this point isn't going to be another character release. For the record, typically around this time we'd see another LF character released in the game. They are obviously at this point extending that period out and skipping their monthly mid-month LF release they've been doing since the beginning of the year, where they've dropped an LF in the middle of the month every month. They're actually extending that out because, again, right now we would have another one that would have released this week if they had followed that same time period. But that being said, I do still think that a Zenkai is coming next week. And again, if it's something that's not GT or Universe Survival Saga, if it's like Future, or it can be completely unrelated for the record, but if it's like Future, that I think that'd be extremely damning. But let me know what you guys think. Again, I really want to hammer home, you don't have to be in the mindset of, oh, this Zamasu can't come out if he's not paired with Trunks. They could always reprint a second Zamasu, for the record, whenever they decide to finally drop Trunks, whenever that is. Maybe that Trunks isn't on this banner, who knows? But I think it's extremely likely now, given the things that I mentioned in this video and other things that I didn't mention in the video, with what's happening in game and stuff like that. I kind of pointed out Twitter a little bit. I don't go off Twitter solely, but they've been teasing Future for a while now, and they never really stopped being relevant, and they've continued the same formula for Future that I typically follow when it comes to upcoming releases for big anniversary events. So we'll see what happens. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hit the thumbs up and subscribe. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see all of you in the next one.